be said about the, yes, presidential election of, yes, Donald Trump, including about media's role. On this first post-election show, we're going to focus on the question of what now? Not to say that how we got here is unimportant, it most certainly is, but to help us keep front and center that the purpose of reflection and criticism is to enhance our ability to actually change things. So, much to come, but for this week, what now for electoral reform and congressional diversity, for the environment, for Muslim Americans and others made vulnerable by the so-called war on terror in its domestic and international fronts. We'll hear from Rob Ritchie and Cynthia Terrell from Fair Vote, from author and professor Deepa Kumar, from Phyllis Bennis of the Institute for Policy Studies, and from Patty Lavera from Food and Water Watch. They're all coming up, but first, a brief look back at recent press. There are many lessons to be drawn from the 2016 presidential election about how one of the least discussed divisions in the country might be between the shocked and the unshocked, about the irreducibility of racism and misogyny and the connections between those things and economic disenfranchisement, about the gap between the electoral process and the will of the people, and about how folks may be less interested in messaging than in actual transformative policy. There's a lot to think about, but as we try to learn, we need to think about who we're learning from. Because certainly one of the salient lessons of the election is that corporate media are not simply an inadequate vessel for a healthy democratic debate, but are in many ways an active substantive issues from elite media's election coverage. An analysis by FAIR's Benjamin Johnson looking at what made front-page election news in the New York Times, Washington Post, and USA Today